Welcome to Crossbow Magazine. I'm your host, Todd Bromley. We've recently received a lot of requests from our followers to talk about food plots, what we plant, why we plant them, and where we plant them. So today I want to take you through a process from beginning to end that's going to start in the spring and end later in the fall. So this is going to be a journey of about 6 or 7 months. I think it's important to show you the entire process and why we're doing what we're doing right in this particular area. Today is April 17th and I'm getting ready. I have this area staked out. I'm going to plant GIANT Miscanthus, and today I've got the glyphosate ready to go. I'm going to get this sprayed off and then we're going to rototill it here once this dies off. But we'll take you through each step as we go. As you can see behind me, I have hundreds of acres of ag. It's all ag except for this little 2 to 3 acre woodlot over my shoulder. And then beyond that, it's more ag. Typically, it's either corn or clover out here. And you can't see behind you or to the sides, but this is all bedding. This red brush, brambles and briars this way, and there's a highway out here, about 400 yards. So what I'm doing in this particular area, I've got slatted snow fence that I've run up probably 200 yards this way and about 400 yards this way, and I've left this 51 yard opening in the middle because these deer are coming out of this bedding area at various points. There's just trails all over coming out, not one central location. There's probably 20 or 30 different trails that they're coming out into these ag fields after dark. So what I've done my post-season scouting back in the brush and in the timber, and about 200 yards from here I found a real nice pinch point that I can access and egress without the deer even knowing I'm there. So I've left this 51 yard opening here, and I've got a quarter acre here that I've cleared. I'm going to put a fall brassica plot in here, and then I'm going to plant GIANT Miscanthus here to screen this from all this open ag, because there's a lot of human activity out here in the fall with four-wheelers, UTVs, things like that, people on horseback. So I'm hoping to make the deer more comfortable to come to this pinch point, and by adding the brassica and the security of the miscanthus, I'm thinking I can accomplish that. And I don't want to hunt them here because really the plot's not that big and I can't access it or leave the area without the deer knowing that I'm here, because they'll be out feeding in these ag fields in the fall. So by planting it here with a nice huntable pinch point just a couple hundred yards to the east of it, I think I can create almost a double funnel to pull the deer to here, and they won't even know I'm hunting them back there. So that's my plan anyway. Now, like I said, typically this is going to be corn, sometimes clover, but by the end of October it's all gone. So there's no food out there except for what they're just scavenging off the ground. So this little plot should pull them right to this area, and then with the fence discouraging them to use the other paths, I think I can even bring more deer activity right to this area and then hunt them in the funnel where they won't be expecting me because I'm a couple hundred yards off of this. So that's my intention. I want to take you through this step by step. I'm not trying to be a YouTube sensation. I'll leave that to the younger guys. We already have over 50,000 social media followers, and I don't want to put out a bunch of chopped up videos along the way. So today's April 17th. I'm going to start this with the glyphosate. I'm going to kill this, and then I'm just going to keep adding to this video over the year, and then hopefully come October, November, you'll see me on video right here holding the nice mature buck that I killed using this funnel that we're creating. So that's my intention. I'm just going to take you through it every step of the way. And then when we're done, hopefully we'll have a nice tidied up video that you can see beginning to end and put these tactics to use on your property. Alright, time for step 2 of our Miscanthus project. Today's April 24th, so it's been 7 days since we sprayed this off with glyphosate, and it's dying pretty nicely. It's not completely dead yet. We've got rain in the forecast for tomorrow, so I want to get this turned over today, at least get it started. The rhizome, the Miscanthus, is supposed to ship tomorrow as well, so it should be here within the next 4 or 5 days. So I want to get this bed prepped and ready, and then when it arrives I can turn it one more time and then get the rhizome straight in the ground, because according to everything I've read about it, you don't want to hold on to it. You want to get it in the ground as soon as possible. So as long as the weather holds, that's the plan. Today I'm going to turn this up, and then when the rhizome gets here later in the week, we'll get to planting it. Alright, it's April 28th, and it's time to do the third step in our Miscanthus planting. As you can see, the rhizomes have arrived. They just showed up about an hour ago. The UPS truck. Still a lot of moisture in the bag. I knew they were coming because I was tracking them on the internet. So I came out and I turned this over again with the disc, and I staked it out so I could just start dropping these in as soon as they arrived. So that's the plan for today. Just a few disclaimers. I'm not a farmer by any means. I've just been a bow hunter for over 40 years, and it's just a passion that keeps burning brighter and brighter, and I'm just never satisfied with the properties I'm leasing or the properties that I own or wherever I'm hunting. I'm just always trying to tweak it, and I think that's an affliction for a lot of us. I'm not certain that a bad crack habit wouldn't be cheaper, but this is what we do. And for those of us that derive our entire income from the industry, it's just a never-ending process. Every day is something. You're doing something to try to make your properties better, the deer bigger, healthier, something. It's just a never-ending process. So with that, I want to talk about this giant Miscanthus. Now, we have no affiliation with Real World Wildlife Products. This is just something that I researched on my own, and decided this looked like a good product. It seems like a very honorable company, and so I've contacted them and talked with them at length over a few things, and so that's why I've decided to go with this. This is no paid promotion or anything. I bought my own rhizomes. I bought my own seed that we'll put in here in the fall. So I just want to put that out there. If this fails, it's probably my fault because I'm not a farmer, but I've done everything to the leather that they've told me to do as far as prepping the site and doing everything the way that it's supposed to be done. So now these rhizomes are actually a root. They kind of look like something that you use for bait or something. So there they are, and we will show you them when we put them in the ground, exactly how they go. And then we have atrazine here, which is a pre-emergent spray that once we get all these in the ground, we will spray it with atrazine. And then it's just a matter of letting the weather warm up and get nicer and see how they grow. So let's get on it. And that's a wrap. The work is done. Well, I don't know. I don't recommend that method. I planted 300 rhizomes by hand and then sprayed with the atrazine, and it took me over 6 hours. That was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. So if you're going to plant this miscanthus, these rhizomes, I recommend getting a couple people to help you or coming up with a better method, using a tree planter or something, because this was a lot of work and took a lot longer than I thought. But it's done. Got it in. Temperatures are hitting 50 today. Forecasted to be in the 60s next week and then just keep going up. So we're out of the frost warnings. So everything should be good to go. I will update in 30 days, which will be the end of May, and we'll see where we're at. But I'm excited about this. I've done everything by the letter, exactly like the directions said. So hopefully I've got the start of a wall that will not fall right here. So stay tuned, and we'll update in 30 days. Welcome to our first Giant Miscanthus update. I know initially I said I would update every 30 days, but at the 30-day mark, which was May 28th, there wasn't a lot going on with the miscanthus. It was just breaking through in a lot of places, and some of the tallest stuff was just reaching over 8 inches. So I will put a picture in here to show you exactly where we were at 30 days. But now you can see where we're at 60 days. Today's June 28th, and the highest miscanthus is right around 29 to 30 inches. So we're pushing 3 feet on some of our bigger plants at the 60-day mark, and I'm real happy with that. I was hoping that I would get 3 feet at the end of the growing season. And here we are at the 60-day mark, and we're hitting 3 feet with some of the plants. So 2 thumbs up for the Real World Giant Miscanthus. It's done everything they said it would, and even more. I'm a little surprised because everything I read about this said the deer wouldn't browse it and other animals wouldn't mess with it. But I can tell you, when the plants hit about 10 inches, the cottontail rabbits just took the tops off of everything. We lost several days there where they were out here feeding on. I seen as many as 3 and 4 rabbits in this little plot, just taking the tops off of them. If you know anything about cottontail rabbits, they're nothing more than a miniature deer. They like the same edge type habitat, the minerals, the cover. So if you're trying to improve your whitetail habitat and you're going about it the right way, you're going to have a lot of rabbits. So keep that in mind. The rabbits are hitting it. I stayed pretty diligent on the weeds up until about the 30-day mark, and then I've let it go, hoping that will take some of the browse pressure off of the miscanthus itself. But now that they're getting taller, the deer are taking the tops off as well. I don't know if you can see any of the plants out here, but they are taking a couple inches out, or we'd probably be well over 3 feet already. So really impressed with this. I would say the germination, probably 95% of it germinated. Some of it I got a little deeper, so it took a little longer to come up, but there was very little failure. So this giant miscanthus has done everything they said it would, and really looking forward to keep updating you on it. We're getting ready to go into July here, and we're going to start on the food plot behind you, and we'll be updating on that as well. So just keep following along, and we'll take you all the way through the fall with this. Alright, we're back for our 90-day update. Today's July 28th, and as you can see, I'm standing in the food plot in the foreground of the giant miscanthus. So I will update on the miscanthus here in a second, but I wanted to go over the whole process we're doing here. I came in last fall and I cleared this 1/4 acre area just off of the farmer's field, and I mowed it down, I limed it, and I put winter rye in here. And then this spring, when it started popping up, I kept it mowed down just like a yard, and then I did a soil test on it, and I got the results back. And now we just dug it up a couple days ago. Like I said, today's July 28th, so I sprayed it off, I tilled it, and now I'm just going to let it sit. And then right around August 15th to August 20th, depending on the weather, I'm going to go ahead and spray it off again with glyphosate, and then put the seed down. I'll just broadcast it, the seed on top of this, and roll it in and fertilize it, and we'll go from there. Now this is going to be a brassica pot, but it's this is Real World's Deadly Dozen. So this is what I'm going to put in here this year, and hopefully it'll take off for me. As I said earlier in the video, a disclaimer, I'm not a farmer, but this seems like a very reputable company, so I'm going to go with their products. The miscanthus has been top notch, so I'm expecting the same thing from the Deadly Dozen. But again, no affiliation with that company. Purchased this seed, no sponsorship or anything like that, so whatever we get, and you're going to see it. At the 90-day mark, the miscanthus is almost 4 feet high, and I'm pretty impressed with that, because I was hoping to get 3 feet by fall, and we still have 2 months of the growing season to go yet, and I'm already at 4 feet high, so it's looking really good. As I said earlier, I was getting some browse pressure with the rabbits and the deer, so I let the weeds come on because I've been pretty diligent at keeping them out of there. But now the weeds have really taken over the miscanthus strip. But I think I'll be okay because the miscanthus is already established, and those weeds are going to die out come winter once we get the first frost, and the miscanthus should keep holding up and continue to grow then next year right out of the gate. So I'll get the camera and we'll go over and look at the miscanthus now, but this is a 90-day update, and this is where we're at with it. This plot's coming together nice. This whole scenario, this whole plan, I'm almost certain I'm going to kill a mature buck right off of this plot. You can see in the background, the farmer did put corn in. They got it in a little late. They threw me a curveball. They had wheat in there, but once they got the wheat off, they went ahead and put corn in. It's a little behind, but that's just added a little feeding variety to the deer because it was coming on late, and they were hitting that as it was sprouting up in end of June. So everything's coming together nicely. I think I'm going to be in business here, and I think I'm going to be able to show you a real nice buck that I arrowed here in a few months. So let's go look at the miscanthus. As you can see, the weeds have pretty much taken over the strip of giant miscanthus, but most of the miscanthus is already 4 feet tall after 90 days, so I believe we're going to be okay, because come mid-October when we get that first frost and the weather starts to change, these weeds are going to die out, and this Miscanthus will be left remaining, and then it will shoot up come spring and should be well ahead of all the other weeds. So I think we're in real good shape. I'm real happy with this stuff. It's done everything they said it would do and even more. And I do believe this will be a wall that will not fall. And if you look out beyond it, you can see the corn. It's about 15 yards beyond the strip of Miscanthus, and then I left a buffer of weeds between the corn and the Miscanthus. And just like the weeds in the plot, that will be gone come mid-October at the first frost. So I will just be left with the ag fields beyond, the Miscanthus strip, and then the brassica plot. So everything is shaping up nicely. Couldn't be happier at the 90-day mark. So stay tuned, and we will update again in August. All right, today's our 4-month update on the giant Miscanthus. Today is August 28th. It's 95 degrees here in western Pennsylvania, and we are in the dog days of summer. With these temperatures, it seems like bow season's about a million miles away, but only another month basically, and we'll be after them. As you can see, the giant Miscanthus is doing great. It's about 5 feet tall across the board, and some of it is actually hitting 6 feet at the 4-month point. So I'm pretty excited about that, because I was hoping to get a good 3-foot stand of it by bow season, and some of it's hitting 6 feet now. With another month of the growing season, I think I'll be 6 foot across the board, and some of it will be hitting 7 feet. So I'm real happy with that. Had a great germination rate. So I think we're going to be good to go here. As you can see, the corn's behind it. That'll be there for another 6 to 8 weeks, and then that'll be coming off. And this giant Miscanthus will be the only screening cover. So everything's coming together nicely. I got the plots in this week. As I said, today's August 28th, so they went in the last week of August. I called an audible and mixed it up a little bit. I put some real world chicory and clover in here with some real world oats button up against this Miscanthus. And then just beyond that, I put the Deadly Dozen, the brassica mix, and the other stuff. So I'll update when that starts growing. Hopefully that takes off, but everything's looking great here. Couldn't be happier with this giant Miscanthus. I think we're gonna hit 6 feet, 7 feet tall across the board going into archery season. So another month we'll be after them, guys, so stay tuned. We've made it to the final installment of my giant Miscanthus video from start to finish. It's been a 5-month process. We put the rhizomes in the ground on April 28th, and today's September 28th, and the growing season is basically over. We're only a week or two from our first frost, so I don't suspect we'll see anything after that, but I couldn't be more happy with it. Hopefully this video helped somebody. We were getting requests from some of our followers, and that was one of the questions, was about the giant Miscanthus and how we planted it and why we planted it. So hopefully I laid that out for everyone. It's performed better than advertised. I was hoping to get 3 feet tall with it within that 5 months, but it is well over 6 feet. I'm 5'10", and it's well over that. Now I'm standing in the plot here, and this plot has just been decimated. The deer have just hammered it. It's too small. It's only a 1/4 acre, and there's just too many deer being pulled in here. This has worked better than I anticipated. So there really isn't much I can do about it, because I'm not interested in fencing it off or anything. It was just a small plot to create this double funnel, and it's worked to perfection, as has the giant Miscanthus. So hopefully that has helped some of you people. You saw the process from start to finish. Here we are 5 months later, and it's 6 feet tall the first year. So I want to show you the plot here and how bad the deer are hitting it. You can see they've got it down to the dirt. They've got everything. All the oats are chewed down to the dirt and pulled up, and the chicory and the clover. They have just decimated the plot, but that's okay. that wasn't the main reason for putting the Miscanthus here anyway. It was just to shield and create this double funnel. So I'll take you over here. You can see the sea of corn behind it. I'm 5'10". So this is well over 6 feet here, so couldn't be happier with it. That's it from start to finish. I'm not going to upload a video. Our season opens here in a few days, and I'm probably being overconfident, but I think I'm going to get an arrow into a mature buck the way I have this laid out. And if that happens, I'm going to add a couple still pictures at the end of me and the buck and the crossbow. It may not happen, so if this video gets uploaded and you don't see any deer pictures at the end, you know I didn't kill a buck here like I anticipated. But this is good stuff. I can't wait to see it next year. I'm sure it's going to double in size, and I'll be 12 feet. And you won't even be able to see the corn back there. But this corn will be gone in a few weeks, and this will be my only screening cover in this little open area where the plot is, and then into the bedding area. So that's it. Real world giant Miscanthus from start to finish. 5 months, 6 feet tall. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for following along. Hopefully we help some of you guys.